What is going on, you guys? Alex here, um, bringing you another deck profile. And I'm pretty sure you've heard me say this a lot, but I feel like I'm bringing you nothing but deck profiles. But that's mainly what my channel is, to bring you, creative, fun decks for you to play and test. And this time is no different. This time is on a deck that I've been having a lot of fun lately. And I was playing a very standard list, but I switched to a more fun, explosive list, just because of one card. I will show you. Mainly because of this card, Beginning of Heaven and Earth. If you don't know what it does, it states that you can reveal 3 warriors from your deck, including 1 Blackluster Soldier or Gaia Monster. Show them to your opponent. They pick one at random. If they pick the Gaia or the Blackluster Soldier, it's added to your hand. If not, then they're all sent to the graveyard. So at first, I wasn't playing this, but I really, really wanted to play it. So I decided, what the heck, I'll add 2 copies of it and I'll add a little more warriors to the deck to make it a little more explosive. And I came up with this list that it's been working fantastically. It's just OTKing people left and right and doing a lot of combos. I will explain the list as I go. Oh, and before I start, I want to give out 2 shout outs to my friend Terry and to my friend Brandon Sprint. I'm pretty sure they both love this card, so shout outs to you guys. Okay, so I'm starting with 3 Blackluster Soldier Super Soldier. It's the only Blackluster Soldier ritual monster I play. Reason is because even though I want to play the original Blackluster Soldier, but I just kept breaking with it. Like having too many level 8 ritual monsters was a little inconsistent. And I feel that the added bonus effect to burn my opponent into summon a guy was better than just like having nothing. So just 3 of. I am playing 1 of each of the Blackluster Soldier, 1 Envoy, and 1 Sacred Soldier. Reason why I'm playing this, it's because the level 8 Warrior Blackluster Soldier. So I can send it to the graveyard with this and special summon it with Soul Charge, which I am playing. And it has a really cool effect, which if it kills a monster by battle, it lets me add any warrior level 7 or lower from my graveyard back to my hand. So it's a little mini engine to recycle my own warriors to keep like in long games and grindy games. Plus he's in here for rank 8s as well. So I'm playing 1 of each. I don't need to explain Envoy at the beginning. If Envoy goes to 2, then I will be cutting him for sure. So 1 of 1 for now, and they're both level 8s for trading. So that's it with the level 8s. If any ritual deck, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to play 3 Manjus. Manjus gets you started. It's usually the card that you want to see in your opening hand, just because it gets you the Blackluster Soldier for trading, or if you're missing the ritual spell. And Manju is one of the only ways that we can search the ritual spell besides the field spell, of course. So I feel that maxing out on Manju it's really, really good. Plus a level 4 light monster. So I will get later. I will get into later why the level 4 light matters. I'm playing 2 Envoy of Chaos. This card is actually pretty good, pretty cool, and it's really good as well. It has an effect that if a Blackluster Soldier monster or Gaia monster is battling, you can send it to the graveyard and your monster will gain 1500 attack, which is a lot. If you use it on 1 of these guys, they become 4500, so they can beat over anything. And on the end phase, if it's in the graveyard, you can banish it light and dark and add it to the hand. Reason why I'm playing 2 is because of this. Again, it's a warrior that I can send and set up my graveyard. I am playing 1 Zephyros, 1 Trick Clown, and 1 Thousand Blades. I decided to add this mini Clown Blade engine because it's a lot of fun and it creates a lot of explosive plays. I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with these 2. They used to be like infamous in the Clown Blade deck. And the reason why I added Zephyros is because the ritual spell card requires a dark monster in your hand, a dark or light monster in your hand, and send 1 to the graveyard. So Zephyros would be the dark and Trickline would be the dark. So you get two creatures to like start triggering your rank 4 engine. So one of each is really really good. And I am playing Foolish Burial, so triggering this engine it's actually pretty fast. And this guy's a warrior, so I can send it with this as well. So that's why I decided to add one of each. Uh, I am playing one Gaia, and this is the only one I'm playing. I was playing Lower Gaia, the Fierce Knight, but it became cluggy. I mean, it was cool, a special summon, 2300 attack, pretty good. But I decided to keep just one, because if he's tributed, I get to uh, add a Blackluster Soldier, and the only way that I'm going to be tributing him is by using Super Soldier Soul, which I'm playing just the one of. This is the only way that I can ritual summon a Blackluster Soldier and use his effect to search, but that's never going to happen. He's here just to be a free beater, to be special summoned through Blackluster Soldier's effect. So just the one of. One Super Soldier Soul. The on-field effects rarely come up. You know, if you need to like get one of these guys out of your hand to bring it back with something like Soul Charge or beat over something real quick, then you summon it. But he's here for the graveyard effect, which lets you banish it from the graveyard to add one of the little knights, which I'll get to in a little bit. So just the one of. And I am playing one Unicorn, Necros of Unicorn. There's a lot of reasons why this guy is here. One is because it's a good ritual engine. It lets you search. When you use a Herald, of course, it lets you search the missing piece, which would be the ritual spell or the monster. And he shuts down the extra deck, mainly against Zoo. If Zoo wasn't as big as it is, I probably wouldn't be playing Unicorn, but it's been fantastic. Being a level 4 for rank 4 plays is actually really good. So as of right now, just the one, and I'm gonna keep testing with it. And for the last few monsters, I played 2 Beginning Knights and 2 Twilight Knights. I was doing 2 and 3 before I had this mini engine, and then I decided to go 2 to 2 just because it's a better ratio. I'd rather have 2 of each of the knights, so my trap card becomes live, and it's live for longer games. If you open with this card and you resolve it, you probably are good to go for the entire game, just because these guys have effects in the graveyard when they're banished. So if you manage to get 2 of these and one of this, you can trigger their effects, which this one lets you search a ritual spell, and this one lets you search a ritual monster when banished. So if you end phase banish these 2 for this, to add to hand, you can add Unicorn and Kaleidoscope to go for a rank 4 and like get your ritual spell or your guy. So 2 and 2 is actually really good. If I remove this engine later on, I will be adding one more of each. But as of right now, 2 and 2. And for the last 2 monsters to maxi, because you gotta have maxi. And that is 20 monsters. With the spells, I'm playing 3 Gateway to Chaos. Gateway to Chaos is your usually like field spells nowadays have effects on activations. It lets you search a monster, so this one is no different. It lets you add a Blackluster Soldier ritual monster or Gaia from the deck, and it gets counters, and you can use counters to search for your ritual spells, which I play 5 of. I play 3 because I want to open with 1. You don't really need 3, but just for that, just to let your engine, start your engine. Because if you have Gateway to Chaos and trade in, you're good to go. Because the ritual spell card becomes a Necros cycle, so it special summons it back from the graveyard. So it's the trading is actually really good. So that's why I'm playing 3, but I can see myself cutting it to 2. But again, I've been testing, and 3 is correct. 1 Foolish and 1 Rhoda. Rhoda is self-explanatory, but the Foolish Burial has a lot of uses. It can become a Rhoda if I send this to the graveyard, because by banishing this, it lets me add one of these. Lets me send this to the graveyard so I can add it back to my hand and give my BLS monster extra attacks. It lets me trigger the rank 4 engine, or lets me put one of the knights there if I need like a quick access to like Envoy of Beginning to like summon it. Because getting dark monsters in the graveyard is actually really tough, and that's another main reason why I am playing Sephiroth, because if he's just there chilling, I can just banish it for Envoy of the Beginning, because again, as you can see, there are only 5 dark monsters in the main deck. There are some dark monsters in the extra deck, but I needed more dark monsters. So Foolish Burial becomes an all-star like mid to late game because you have so many different cards that you want to put in graveyard. For the ritual spells, I am playing 3 Super Soldier Synthesis. It's a fantastic card. It's actually really, really good for what it does. Um, there's a downside to it, which it doesn't tribute the monsters. It just sends them to the graveyard from one from your hand and one from the deck, equal to level 8, which is kind of annoying. But I guess they needed to keep it on check. You know, they can't make everything broken. So I'm pretty happy with this card, and I see a lot of builds playing too, which I think is incorrect because getting to this card, I feel that getting to this card is the most difficult part of the deck. Like you can do so much, but having access to this is it's like limited. So maxing out on it's actually correct. One of each, one Super Soldier Ritual, just because at times you need an extra push, and this will help you with that. Plus, this one is pretty much like this. You need to tribute 8 levels worth of stars exactly. You can't go any higher. So that's why I like this guy as well, because I can ritual summon this, tributing him. Because you never really want to tribute your envoy because he's like that powerful. You want to keep him in hand. So, and he has an extra effect in graveyard as well to banish it and ritual summon, but that's never gonna happen. And of course, if you're playing the unicorn, you need the Kaleidoscope to summon it, to get it for free, to get a search. So self-explanatory if you are familiar with Necros strategies. 3 trade-ins to speed through the deck. You need those Blackluster Soldiers in the graveyard so you can bring them back with these. 3's it's been working fine, and I have Gamma Seals in my side deck, so trade-in becomes better. Twin Twister is a card that I had in the side deck, but I moved it back in the main deck just because this deck wants to go second most of the time, and Twin Twister in their strikes because this deck can go for game very quickly. So if you hit the strikes and the vanities with this, you're probably going to win in the one turn. So I feel that these are very good in the main deck. And for the last spells, I'm doing 1 Instant Fusion and 1 Soul Charge. These 2 cards are just like broken, like beyond belief. These cards let you do so much. You can do rank 4s and rank 8 plays with this, bring back your ritual monsters after like your opponent deals with them. So that's actually pretty good. And again, making a lot of extremely difficult boards to break, like including BLS, like the ritual monster, and like number 38 with a Cargorg and the anti-luminescent knight. It's actually pretty good. So one of each is good. And for the traps, I'm only playing 5. The 3 really good traps: Warning, Vanities, and Torrential. If you go first, you open these 2 cards, you're actually really good to go because your opponent can't kill you, and you get to set up with this. And again, this is the main reason why I am playing a lot of the Warriors. You can play a more standard list without this card, but I feel that this card like sets up the deck so fast. Like it lets you go from the get-go. This card is really good. I guess I could play a third, but I am playing 44 card as is, and adding a third one would just make the deck bigger. So that's it for the main deck. Again, that's 44 cards. You can make a more like a thinner deck standard list if you remove these and these, but this list is giving me a lot. It's like good results, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm gonna go through it one more so you can see it. Okay, now with the extra deck. There's one note in for the instant fusion. Of course, it lets you trigger all your guys. At times you can Note and bring back a knight and ritual summon for the Blackluster Soldier. And even though Noden's negating the knight's effect, when you tribute them, your Blackluster Soldier will gain its effect just because it gains its effect in the graveyard, which is hard to explain, but it will have the effect. It's a rank 4 toolbox, so I am playing 1 Roach for the Inferno matchup. I am playing 1 Abyss Dweller, just like again a toolbox. Just it's good to have answers to your opponent plays. 1 Direwolf to kill their back row before you can ritual summon. 1 Silent Honor Arc to deal with back row rogue decks. So I get to Inferno, which is actually really good. Castell, it's mandatory, self-explanatory. Ragnar's Hero has actually been putting a lot of work lately because of Zoo. They usually have attack values are not their original, so she will get you a +1 or 2. Rhapsody and Berserk, it's actually pretty neat. it helps you deal with the Inferno matchup and against some metal foe to get rid of their counters. This is pretty good. One card Gorgon to make it next to BLS. So if your opponent's like summoning Dryden, you can summon this into Dryden to Zoo plays Dex or Paleozoics and start beating their face. Just because he's really good. One of the main reasons why Manju matters being alive is because of Tsukiyomi. At times you can set everything, all your spells, and keep BLS in hand, and then pitch it and draw into like better cards so you can bring it back. So Tsukiyomi is pretty good. And one of the most fun cards in the extra deck, Amaterasu. Amaterasu is actually it's super nuts in the deck. You can have a lot of level 4s monsters in the field, make Amaterasu and start making more rank 4s because you banish so much. So it's actually pretty cool. You can have like multiple uses of your level 4s. So one Amaterasu. The Utopia package, 139. I mean, one of each because you have space. I guess you can remove the X39 for number 38, Hope Harbinger Galaxy, Titanic Galaxy. But, I mean, I haven't really needed the rank 8. And that was 14 extra deck, by the way. The 15 cards is Herald of Arclight. I left it at the house. So just imagine there's a Herald because you need it for the Kaleidoscope play. Okay, that was my take on Black Luster Soldier for this format. Please try this deck. You know, give it just play it for fun in YGO Pro or something, and you'll realize how fun it is. It's actually pretty cheap to make. You don't really need to play the maxis, but you kind of have to at times. Against Zoom mainly, you need to like stop them. Besides that, everything in the deck is pretty cheap. Again, I highly recommend giving this deck a chance just to have fun. You know. It has potential coming up with the link summoning. A lot of ritual strategies will be better just because the game will be a little slower. So hopefully this deck does well. I'm probably gonna take it to a regional or two coming up, and I will let you know how it does. Until then, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking by, and I will bring you more videos later. Alex, signing out. Peace.